Shalom and blessings, beloved brothers and sisters of Yahuah and warriors of Yahuah and the truth. Roscoe wants to join the show today. He wants to say hello. Don't bug your sister, though. She's in my lap. Oh, peekaboo. There's Bella Bean. Okay, so we're continuing on with I am Yahuah, that is my name. Someone in the comments had asked, where is the scriptural proof of our Creator's true name and our Savior's true name? And they are one, and there is no Trinity. And there are many scriptural references within this text that I'm reading. I don't know if they didn't catch Revelation 13:18 yesterday. Here is the wisdom. He who has understanding, let him calculate the numeral of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And the reference to Jeremiah 31 about the 10 Commandments. So, just before you try to attack me, just try to do your own research first, because we've been lied to all our lives about there being a JC, because the letter J wasn't created until 400 or 500 years ago, and we were lied to about God, because that's common Teutonic word for object of personal worship, commonly used by Teutonic races through Christianity, and superhuman being of heathen myth. I have that one pretty much memorized. I may have gotten a few parts wrong, but I know I'm pretty good at remembering that one. And the word Lord means a demonic name, Baal. So you're not calling on your Savior when you're using the word Lord. And it's very disrespectful to our Creator. Okay, sorry now that I got that out there. We are going to be continuing on with catechetical method of teaching. The catechesis method is essentially teaching by means of an oral repetition process. So basically, they repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, like they're trying to hypnotize you into, or like program your mind into believing this. Teaching is accomplished through oral instructions which are echoed by the students. So imprinting of the doctrines takes hold of these people very quickly. The instructor calls orally, and the group echoes the required response, resulting in a very strong programming or imprinting of the thoughts on the whole group. Drills in the military services, as well as some responsory chant in worship liturgies, continue to reflect this method for instructing large groups. Thus, the communion or group is programmed together at the same time, and this process forms an emotional bond of cohesion and unity. All believe the same things, behave the same way, and outsiders are quickly identified because of their lack of programming. Xenophobia, class envy, and anti-Semitism are logical outcomes from such a teaching method. And on to our next section here about this man. I don't know if you can see him closely enough. There you go. Okay. Joseph Goebbels, or Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister, was a Jesuit operative. He was the chief architect of the Kristallnacht attack on the German Yahudim, or Jews, as they've told us in the history books, which historians consider to be the commencement of the Nazi violence culminating in the Holocaust. The truth is a threat to those who program the masses. Here are a few of his quotes. If you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, People will eventually come to believe it. The lie can be maintained only for such time as the state can shield the people from the political, economic, and/or military consequences of the lie, or military consequences of the lie. It thus becomes vitally important for the state to use all of its powers to repress dissent, for the truth is the mortal enemy of the lie. And thus, by extension, the truth is the greatest enemy of the state. How messed up is that? The most brilliant propagandist technique will yield no success unless one fundamental principle is borne in mind constantly. It must confine itself to a few points and repeat them over and over and over and over. Intellectual activity is a danger to the building of character. Catechesis is a process of teaching or programming masses and has defined psychological goals. Here is a statement from Wikipedia concerning the oratory skills employed by Joseph Goebbels. He openly acknowledged that he was exploiting the lowest instincts of the German people: racism, xenophobia, class envy, and insecurity. He could, he said, play the popular with like a piano, leading the masses wherever he wanted them to go. He drove his listeners into ecstasy, making them stand up, sing songs, raise their arms, repeat oaths, and he did it not through the passion inspiration of the moment, but as the result of sober psychological calculation. Psychological behavior was studied by Ivan Petrovich. Pavlov using dogs, and psychological responses could be controlled and predicted using oral commands and other audio stimulation. Catechesis is therefore a very powerful tool, and people should be alert to it being used on them or against them. We should point out the fact that the process itself, catechesis, is quite effective and could be used for either good or bad. The important point to keep in mind is that there are psychological processes that are employed against populations, and we see them in operation in the media constantly to slant popular opinion. Agendas may be good, bad, or neutral, but people need to be aware of what is being done to them. Obviously, Yahuah wanted us to use repetition to learn his Torah and to teach it to our children. Deuteronomy 6:4-9. Hear, O Yasharal, Yahuah are our Alahim. Yahuah is one. And you shall love Yahuah your Alahim with all your heart and with all your being and with all your might. And these words which I am commanding you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. That is why we keep the commandments on our door. The next section is Elohim or Alahim. A simple explanation. When we use the spelling Allah, we are not endorsing the deity of Islam. The Hebrew word Allah means high one or mighty one. The Hebrew word root al, A-L, can mean upward. The current religious tradition of the Arabs was influenced long ago by the culture of India. At one time, the kingdom of India extended to the land of Arabia, and the population worshipped the Mahadeva Hindu for great God, their reference to Lord Shiva. The shrine at Mecca was originally openly known as a Shiva shrine, and we find the same symbol shrines and worship practices all over India today dedicated to Shiva. Next time we will be learning Arabic Hebrew. The name Muhammad is a Hindu name. Mahadeva equals Allah Akbar. Eisegesis, which I learned about in school. And I will show some pictures of the Shiva tears and Hindu shrine. And we will end our next lesson with that. I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson today, and I'm going to do a short praise song to Yahuah. Torah Rabbah Abba Yahuah, Torah Rabbah Abba Yahuah, Hallelujah, 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 Rakakodesh, Baruch Haba Bashem Yahuah, Baruch Haba Bashem Yahusha, Baruch Haba Bashem Ruach HaKodesh. I love you all with an everlasting love, as our Abba Yahuah and the Shamayim loves each and every one of us. Shalom and blessings, warriors of Yahuah and the truth. Bella says shalom. Bye-bye, shalom. We love you all.